Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be looking at a new limited time war event that's going to be starting up called Merciless War. It is going to change a little bit how war's actually going to work in terms of the amount of energy people are going to have, stuff like this. A lot of changes around mercenaries as well. Let's get into the info. And as we read through the introduction, it says, Merciless War, limited time war event. Before we finalise everything we have planned for War Season 3's release in early November, we're proud to present Merciless War. This limited time war event will roll out over the next 4 weeks and will test you, your faction, and your rosters against different war scenarios week to week on your way to your choice of gold mythic fighters. The event times will be as follows. It starts on the 8th of October 2021 at 5 PM Pacific time with a CRW. The first event will be a CRW, and it will end on the 31st of October 2021 at 5 PM Pacific time. So do stay tuned for quite a lot of warring ahead. The grey market finishes 1 day later on the 1st of November 2021, 5 PM Pacific time, giving you just about 24 hours to claim any rewards you want with your remaining tokens. These will almost definitely not transfer to any future war depots, just like previously, so make sure you clean out your tokens within this time frame. Now we have got a bit of information regarding how wars are going to be working over the next 4 weeks, and it says over the next 4 weeks we'll unveil a new set of modifications to the way war will operate for each individual war event. Throughout the duration of the event, you'll collect shotgun slugs to use in the Merciless War grey market to pick up various gold mythic fighters, gold mythic tokens, and more. Shotgun slugs can be found in faction missions and in the war milestones as rewards. To begin showing you what we're working on for Season 3, we'll be testing out these different war methods and gauging player feedback as we go. It finishes by saying that you should keep in mind we'll be mixing up the way war is played from week to week, so do make sure to check the information when it comes to each individual war. The first war is a CRW like I mentioned before, and it does start on the 8th of October and finishes on the 10th of October. The map details are 8 versus 8 on Kingdom. It looks like it could potentially be 8 versus 8 for everybody. 3 strongholds. First repair will be 15 seconds. Retreat timer is set to 5 minutes. Mercenaries available will be 4 instead of the usual 2. And now maximum war energy will be increased up until 6 instead of it being 4. So you should be able to get 6 per can as well. I believe the information on a can is that it fills your war energy, not that it gives you 4 war energy, but I'm not 100% certain there. The final information says it's going to be siege duration 30 minutes. That means that's how long a war will start. The attack cooldown is 3 minutes between each attacks. Shield cooldown is 3 minutes between tower attacks and so on once you take them. In this first cross-region war of the Merciless War event, will increase the maximum war energy from 4 to 6. We'll also increase the number of mercenaries available to 4, and we've also reduced the time it takes to hire them. In addition, we'll be increasing the frequency of Milestone Rewards along the way. Now before we get on to the Milestone Rewards, we have got some information when it comes to the actual grey market rewards. You can see the gold mythics that are available are going to be gold mythic Zachary, gold mythic Uncle Sam, gold mythic Ty, gold mythic Jesse Anderson, and gold mythic Michonne. Now if you were going to pick up a gold mythic in here, I would highly recommend Uncle Sam, just because all of the other characters are available in either the museum from the TWD gold medals or from guild bits and so on and so forth. Uncle Sam is definitely the hardest character to come by. You can get a maximum of 2 of each of these characters, so potentially you could pick up 2 Uncle Sams and let's say your 4th or 5th Zachary if you so need in the future for Limit Break 3, or a Jesse Anderson if you want to get her up to grade 5 for instance for collection purposes. This is a good way to just buff out your roster as you see it is needed. Me personally, I'm definitely going for Uncle Sam. The other rewards on the far right hand side, you can see that there is going to be some gold mythic tokens if you do not wish to have any of the other characters in here. It costs exactly the same amount, a total of 600 shotgun slugs to get 1 pull on the gold mythic wheel as it would to pick up any of those characters. There are also world energy refills and gold salvage tokens with your leftovers, or you can prioritize them if you so wish, if you are low on these things, or you do see this as being more important than the actual characters that are available. Now there is some information on how to earn some of these shotgun slugs, and one of the first ways you're going to be able to earn these are through the Merciless War faction missions. I have been informed that this should be just for the weekend CRW, and it will be war battles as a faction, so as long as you win an actual attack, that's going to be you getting one of the first 100. On average, it takes between 40 to 60 attacks to take down an 8-player faction if they do not repair, so you can kind of do the calculations as we go. The total amount of shotgun slugs you can get from this weekend's faction missions is going to be 250, with it being quite top heavy, of course, 1200 and 1500 war battles giving 50 apiece. You are going to get some extra rewards on the side with some war energy, which is going to be great for some people. Some war energy refills are quite low. I would have preferred this to be a choice crate of some kind, maybe even the choice crate for first place. Personally, do not need war energy. I prefer to have other energy, SR for instance. But we'll look at the other rewards. You can see there's a lot of Liliths available, which is great. I know I see a lot of people complaining about Liliths. Even myself, who had really not stock of Liliths for a long time, I'm starting to see that number go really far down. So that is nice to see. You can obviously choose between Liliths and Ulysses, but I think most people need Liliths. There is also some military supply packs in the rewards as well. Now, a second way to get those shotgun slugs is through individual milestone rewards, and it's kind of like how you would normally score 5,000 points, get the rewards and so on and so forth, but there is going to be extended rewards. This was kind of teased in the intro, where we're going to have higher milestones. Normally we'd have, I think, 150k as the top milestone, then a big jump to 400k. It's going to go up quite a bit just to a 400k, but there's going to be lots of individual ones in between. As you can see, there's a 200k, 250, 300, and then the top one at 400. Shotgun slugs along the way, gear choice boxes, silver, mythics, that sort of thing as usual, and then we're going to get trainers, military supplies, energy choice boxes on the right hand side. There's the kind of usual rewards we're kind of expecting, other than the shotgun slugs as the main reward. By the looks of it, throughout the entire of the solo missions as well, you should be able to get another 250 shotgun slugs, bringing the grand total possible so far up to 500, considering you only need 600 for a gold mythic character in the grey market. This is pretty decent, and this is one of 4 by the wording that they're giving here, where they're going to change the war structure every week. There potentially could be 4 wars on the horizon. Now, there are also some rank rewards on top, but there's not going to be any tokens in here like we would usually get, and there's no slugs in here either, so it isn't about your placement in war depending on what you're going to get. I think this is actually a really good way of doing things, because it allows lower end factions to catch up a bit better. If it's based on rank rewards, as you know, the top people always get the best rewards, and a lot of the time the best rewards are most useful for the people who are lowest down, and this can kind of just mess up the power. A lot of people don't want to go for those top rewards anyway, in terms of in the depot with the characters. They're doing it for collection purposes, not for actual usage, whereas the people all the way down the bottom, we keep scrolling down, you know, down in, let's say, 31st down to 100th place, they're the ones who would need these characters to actually, you know, progress and get better in the game, and they're not getting their hands on them so much. So I think having it based on your faction participation and stuff, and I know there's a lot of people have had issues with faction participation in the past, but do remember that you can do up to 4 mercenaries now, and the mercenary addition, like when you add them, is going to should be have a little bit of a lower cooldown. There are some extra rewards on the side, a lot of silvers, medal choice boxes, and still gear medals on the far right hand side, so it looks like just basically the gear to upgrade your gold mythic characters. Now lastly, there are some AOW rank rewards, and this is because some regions will have just an AOW, which means it's just for their region rather than a CRW. This is generally going to be newer regions, just because they won't have a massive mismatch otherwise. I'll just scroll through this so you can get the idea, and then we're going to get the matchups in terms of which regions are going to face each region. And I'm going to just scroll through this. There is no spacing in this, so there's quite a lot of that you have to kind of, you can see the capital letter is the first letter of each one, but otherwise it's just a really long word, like Cholton Stimmers or Dooley, a really long word. And as I'll keep scrolling down, and it might just list the ones that are going to have CRWs. Is it going to do that? It doesn't look like it is. So it just looks like lots of groups. This is the CLW. So if you're not listed in these groups, and there is a lot of there is a lot of regions actually in some of these. There's a lot of regions. If you're not listed in this, you will have an AOW. But generally, like I said, it's going to be for brand new regions. Just FYI. And lastly, just some confirmation on what is inside of each of the choice boxes. As you should know, like gear medals, it has the bronze and silver choice, as we have had in the past, I believe, with bronze and steel, but it's going to be a little bit of an upgrade to silver. I'm not sure if we've had that already. I think this is the first time we've had silver in the rewards here. I'm not 100% certain. I'll just keep scrolling down just for the gear. And that is pretty much the end of the possible rewards that we're going to get in this war. So that's pretty much it for the Merciless War event, and I don't mind this too much as like a kind of filler. Maybe they're trying to test out new ways to, make war a bit more engaging with more energy, faster fills with the extra mercenaries. I think this is a good idea. Extra mercenaries, there's no downside to it, honestly, having extra mercenaries. It means people will just be able to war more often that are in less active factions. Surely that's a good thing. Personally, when I come up against a faction that has lots of mercenaries, it's good for me, it's not good for them. So it's just more to get them so they can actually start their wars. Personally, I think that's a good thing. We'll see if this actually makes it into the final cut, because I'm sure they're going to test more things over the next few weeks. We'll get the details on what the next tests are going to be in the coming weeks, but we should, by the looks of things, have up to 4 wars. Whether they're all going to be CLWs or not, we'll have to wait and see. I am kind of looking forward, strangely enough, to War Season 3. I always hope that they do the total war missions that they did before, where it was an entire season of missions for war as an individual based on your own performance. How many attacks you do, maybe how many towers you take or something like that, like individual performance to just keep you chugging along throughout the entirety of the war season. And these can just give some bonus rewards, maybe things that are missing in the game for some people, Lilith for instance. We'll see what happens though in the coming weeks and months. Do leave your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. I want to thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.